the network for the AV industry.
What are you listening to?
This
is AV.
This
is AVNation.
This is AVNation.
Greetings and welcome to this episode of AVNation TV's Connected. I'm your host, David Danto, and look, we're back. We're back at the CES show in Las Vegas. We're expecting 4 or 5 days of high technology and AI and infrastructure and new concepts and all kinds of awesome things. We got a lot of interviews and a lot of pictures of what happened here, so stay with us and we'll bring it right to you. Obligatory Central Hall CES selfie.
Hi everyone, my name is Jawei. I'm with Kandao Technology. I'm the Chief Growth Officer here. And today I want to show you some really interesting meeting products that we have developed. Our solution is focused around 360 panoramic capture, center of table solutions that also have built-in mics and speakerphones, and also most importantly, what differentiates us from other 360 companies is that it has built-in Android operating systems. This year, we're really excited to show off the Kandao Meeting Ultra, which has the lenses, mics, and speakers, but also this touchscreen tablet. What's also really unique is that we have the built-in different custom views, where you have two 180 degrees coming out of each lens, or you have a 360 on top with up to 8 active speakers. This camera right here will live stream in up to 4K 30 frames, so you can stream that through any video conferencing platform, Zoom, Teams, or whatever it is. And the previous generations would be the Meeting Pro, that's super popular with financial institutions, government institutions, nonprofits, enterprise. So all of our cameras are focused around 360. And with this 360, it allows you to have more face-to-face conversations, and it's also built for spaces of any size. Whether it is a workspace, small meeting rooms, medium meeting rooms, or large meeting rooms, we can cover all of those needs. And definitely, we also have built in a system so that you can connect up to 4 devices together to service larger conference rooms. If you would like more information, please visit our website at www.kandaovr.com.
What's one example in the health tech where AI is getting embedded that's going to have a benefit for us as people in our health?
Well, I'm attending a press conference tomorrow from the people that actually make these frames. It's the Luxottica people under the brand Ray-Ban, which they own. They own almost all of the eyeglasses in the world. And they've come out with, something for the visually impaired so that it can improve, but they're also coming out with hearing assistance for people that are hearing impaired, so you can walk around and get amplification while wearing regular glasses in designer frames.
So nobody would ever know that you had a hearing aid.
Correct. And there have been some great products in that space for the last 3 or 4 years that look like earbuds, but you're still wearing earbuds, and some people might get insulted that you don't take them off. Nobody gets insulted that I don't take off my glasses, and I think that would be a really terrific benefit. So I'm looking at it, and I'm putting them on.
And I'm talking here.
And I'm hearing them.
Yes.
Wow, the voice lift is really amazing. I wish I could explain it to people. You'll see in the video what it looks like, what the voice lift is. It's a tremendous product, and definitely one of the bigger innovations that I've seen at CES this year.
One way to do it is we are Nuance, a driving force in hearing care. We are sound engineers on a mission to redefine how you hear the world around you. We developed a revolutionary technology that brings unparalleled clarity and high-resolution sound. Every voice can be heard.
Hi there, I'm Zipporah representing Lifen here at CES 2024. I'm holding the new Lifen Wave electric toothbrush, the first electric toothbrush that oscillates and vibrates at the same time to get a deeper clean, as well as protecting your gums with soft bristles. Creative movement by yourself. You can download the app, get to know it a little bit better, use it in flight mode, take it handy, it's super small and cute. And yeah, if you want to get your hands on one yourself, they'll be available in March on lifeintech.com and on Amazon.
My name is Richard Malter, and I am from Enchanted Tools.
And you sound like you have a Brooklyn accent. Is that where you're from?
I'm from Paris, France. It's a 1 meter and 30 centimeter high robot mounted on a sphere. So he's rolling around. He has 2 arms and a really, really pretty face with animated movements and 2 big ears, something like 20 centimeters ears. We feel we are in the category of humanoid robots because the robot has 2 arms and 2 hands, and it's the best shape to have a robot in a human area, to have robot around us, because our robots is made to work among us. But we add more than just this humanoid, these arms. We add a face, and we create a new kind of spaces. We create characters. We work with people from animation movie, because we think we have to bring more than just utility when we build robots. We think technology can be more than useful. Technology can also bring smiles, nice reactions, and that's why we want to bring more than just the utility of it, but bring kind of cartoon characters.
So technology that helps them reuse the battery all the way to the beginning of the lifetime. So it's a closed loop volume, but it also allows it to be recycled to use again.
I'm sitting with Mitch Hershkowitz, representing Canon Amlos. Mitch, tell everybody again who you are and what you do and what Canon is doing here.
Yeah, sure. So I've been with Canon for about 6 months now, pretty much in a business development role, helping them bring this product called Amlos, activate my line of sight to the market. And it's an interesting little solution that we'll talk a bit about today, and we're showing it off this week at CES. It's basically bringing the physical into an existing conference room. So you have Teams, you have Zoom, you have WebEx, you pick your favorite platform, but there are things in that room that today, unless you're pointing a camera right at it, you don't have. So that's what we're going to talk about.
And Amlos was actually introduced here last year, right? It's 1 year old now?
Yeah, so that's exactly right. So last year it was introduced at CES, it won an award here. And for the most part, we've been introducing it into early testing customers, a couple of universities, a couple of healthcare, a couple of R&D, and taking their feedback. And this year we're launching it to the market at CES 2024.
Now, Amlos isn't necessarily a product and it isn't necessarily a service. It's kind of both. There's plenty of collaboration that's out there right now, a lot of different platforms, a lot of different services. Tell us what Amlos gives, why it's different.
Yeah, so again, it's to your point, it's two things in one. It's a camera. There is a Canon PTZ camera as part of the solution, which will sit in the room that already is set up for conferencing. And then there's the software, which is Amlos. And basically what it's doing is it's providing other dimensions to that conference. So people want to have whiteboard, people want to have document cameras, people want to have close-ups of 3D images and prototypes and different types of ways in which they can collaborate that. Unless it's digital today, you can't do that in your traditional conferencing. So it's bringing that other dimension while you still have that. So we have a view of the room through the single camera that has multiple streams, and we bring that to the end user in a personalized view. So you're sitting at home watching this meeting, you say, Mitch, I want to talk about that image on the wall. I can zoom into that with that camera, bring it to you. You can actually adjust it, you can personalize it, you can save it yourself, but you also still have that room view of the other 10, 12 people who are sitting there. If you go online, you can go to Canon Amlos and check out our website. You can see video demonstrations of it. You can see some of the use cases that we have today with universities. The next event where we'll actually have a big booth again will be at InfoComm. So in June at InfoComm, right back here in Las Vegas, we'll have a booth as well. In between, there'll be opportunities, whether it's an Enterprise Connect or a local event like a healthcare trade show where Canon individuals will be.
So I'm here at Showstoppers, terrific event run by Steve and Dave Leon, really good guys. And I just saw a company, I'm going to show some of the video for you, called VO, that's coming out with a product that's really amazing. It shoots a video camera through a transparent OLED screen, and they do processing with the camera to interpret what the interference would be from the video image and electronically remove it. Really awesome stuff. Here, take a look. So this is a camera shooting through the transparent LED screen, and what you're seeing on the screen is artifact that's coming because the camera's shooting through the screen. So what VO is doing is it's taking a software program to remove the artifact from the video, right? So show us what that looks like. So there's the camera that's mounted behind it, and now it's shooting through that image. And if we take a look at how that's coming out, it's perfectly clear. So the technology is the LG transparent screen, and it's your camera,
yes,
and it's your software,
yes,
that runs through, and the software is processing the camera.
Yes. So maybe the camera can't see the screen, but see the system.
Right. And when will it be available?
This summer.
This summer.
Yeah.
This size and the larger size?
Yes.
And I am here with my good friend and industry associate, Greg Harper. Greg, I want you to tell everybody who you are and what you do, but Greg is probably the one person in this city right now that I've been working with professionally longer than anybody else, going way back to when we were both doing things for FNN.
Right, FNN when it was still the Exxon building on 6th Avenue. Yes, and I was talking to Gary Shapiro the other night, and we're trying to figure out how long I've been coming to CES, and we think it's about 36 or 37 years, starting in Chicago and then coming to Chicago here. So I've been doing this for a long time.
So there isn't enough room on this video for all of our hats combined.
Correct.
But what's the simple, easy way to describe what you do in the industry for someone?
Well, I look for trends, I look for futures, and I try to then design technology that's going to take that into case. So I'm not as interested in necessarily the device that's out there today, but I find CES in general a very, very great place to get ideas and see where people are going. I can't tell you how many things I see, like at Showstoppers, and then 3 years later it becomes a real product and a major thing. I mean, I was thinking, just for example, this year both LG and Samsung showed little robots. Well, I got my little robot 3 years ago, and my grandkids love it, and now all of a sudden it's a product. But, you know, we sort of see that. It was AI doing it. So you see things here first, and then that leads it. You know, in the old days, it used to be the government industry, you know, military led the technology. today it really is the consumer world that's leading the technology.
So you've already agreed, and we're going to do a show probably in the next week or two with a round robin of, I don't know, 4 or 5, 6 panelists about what happened. And I want you to save some cool things there because the show's not over yet. It's actually, we've been here for 3 days. Today's the first day that it opened.
Correct.
There's plenty we haven't seen. But right now, after the first day and the media days, what's the top 2 or 3 things that you saw that you're excited about?
Well, obviously AI is everywhere. Interestingly, I liked Samsung, their LED, the micro LED transparent screen. The idea of putting that on for example, a sports booth where you're looking out on the field and then they can put the information on as opposed to turning your head and looking away to see the stats. That was kind of cool. The other things that I saw, new large screen TVs from people that we hadn't thought about before, the Hisense of the world, the TCLs of the world. They're doing stuff. I mean, I was at Sony. They don't show TVs anymore. They're it's PlayStation. I mean, they did use a PlayStation controller to drive their car out. They're doing it Honda. So when you're starting to see the automotive and bringing technology into the car, they're really thinking of the car as being the next entertainment hub. And the connection between your home, your car, and your work, as that comes together, it's a continuous thing. And so I was interested to note how many Microsoft links there were. A lot of people, including, for example, Sony. You'd think they're competitors because of PlayStation versus Xbox, but no, they're right up the stage doing stuff together.
Any other exciting trends that you think you'll see in 2 years that weren't a product yet?
The whole concept here is bringing data. The whole AI stuff is really it's moving large amounts of data, and so everybody's saying, "Well, wait a minute, I'm a Tesla. I got lots of data. Oh, I'm a LG. I know about people in the refrigerator." But all that stuff right now is unique to their companies, and it's not generalized. It's locked in to their particular data set. I think we're going to start seeing ways where some of that data gets it'll become anonymous, but it will start becoming a feeding of training the AIs, and we'll start seeing what we saw with smart things, where
and autonomous vehicles.
But no, we also saw. Remember, in the early days, everybody had their own internal, control for their TV and only worked their ecosystem, and then they had their own IoT. They only work with their things. Now we've got Meta and things like that, where things are talking together. So I think we're going to see that trend moving forward. And I think we're going to see more of it going into devices we hadn't thought about. Today, I don't know if you went to the keynote with L'Oreal, and I was going, why in the world are we seeing a beauty company doing it? Well, they're using an AI device to help you figure out what kind of makeup to put on. They're using a device to help disabled people put lipstick on. They're analyzing your face, deciding what they recommend. Now, it's still a marketing thing, but they also showed off a hairbrush that would allow you to dye your hair. Now, not thinking, you and I don't need that, or maybe we do, but
I like my silver.
Yeah, but you get people doing things like that, and it's sort of thinking about how we can bring these things together, and that's kind of interesting.
And the other thing, just as a quick point, is some of the technology matures to the point where it's so easy. I remember when I was at CES, I think it was 5 years ago, 6 years ago, they had a special laser gun, and I sat there for half an hour where they shaped my ear and then built me, custom earbuds. There's a guy over there doing it with a smartphone, just taking a picture of it.
Exactly, yeah. Well, that's the other thing is imaging. So I think I told you, I recently got a new car, it's a BMW. And, software upgrade happened just a couple of weeks ago. And all of a sudden, the car's got all these new capabilities I didn't even know about. And you're starting to see this over-the-air upgrades of things because it's become a software platform. And so now they're going to, of course, try to sell you, you want extra music, extra bass, pay $12.95 a month. You're going to see more of that. But the moment you start making this a platform, a computing platform, and these vehicles become a platform, especially electric vehicles, because there's far fewer parts in an electric vehicle. Now you can do things you haven't done before.
Back, pick up, show interest. Show interest. No problem.
I'm at Eureka Park this morning at the Venetian Expo Center. It used to be the Sands Expo Center. It's a really Dickensian experience here. The best of times, the worst of times. It's great to see a lot of startups. If you look down any of these corridors, that you can't walk through them. It's just too crowded to get through down to see any of the products. I wanted to bring your attention to a company that's making a really cool product. Here, I'll show it to you.
Different because, I mean, I could take you a couple of other booths that would blow your mind. And they would just lay over the top of this in rematch. Right here.
The product is XBot Go from a company called Blink Tech. And what they've done is they've created an app that goes on your smartphone that talks to a gimbal that automatically tracks the action that your smartphone is seeing. Now, they plan on using this to cover sporting games, like basketball or football or something like that. But you can also set it into person tracking. And now you could have a smartphone with a Bluetooth audio input tracking a presenter on a stage or a presenter in front of a room. Suddenly, the idea of having a conference room in a box that you walk in is possible again. And now, since you're using a smartphone, you could pick whether you want it to be Zoom or Teams or whatever else you're using. There's a lot of very interesting possibilities here. I just got out of a press conference that was being done by Abbott Laboratories. Really innovative use of augmented reality and mixed reality to help people donating blood. Here, take a look.
And welcome Dr. Alex Carterson. He is our Medical and Scientific Affairs Officer.
Just had a great demo of the Auracast experience from the Bluetooth SIG. Auracast is going to be a technology that allows the Bluetooth user, the Bluetooth device holder, to listen to broadcast streams from sources that can be TVs in a bar, they can be airports, they can be assistive listening systems. It's a one-to-many transmit. New technology coming out. A lot of companies are supporting it. Take a listen to some of the demo.
Is that you're able to hear and tune in at your rate and speed. So imagine if you are using a hearing assisted device, now you'll be able to tune in and listen and be able to adjust the volume for something that's comfortable for you. The other benefit, and what you'll notice, and I noticed you pointed out the one there, the transmitter here that we're using here is GNN, the Streamer Plus. So this transmitter is allowing it to transmit out at a regional area. And the transmitter size is important, and I'll talk a little bit more about why that's important later on. But the benefit is now that if I have the transmitter, I'm able to now go ahead and send that broadcast out. And because it is an unlimited amount of receivers, anyone that is in that broadcast range can tune in at their pace and speed.
I'm in the SK booth. SK is one of the largest companies in Korea, and they've built an actual amusement park here in the middle of CES 2024. I don't know if you can get an image of it, but there's a miniature version of the Sphere over there. Behind me on the other side, there's an immersive ride. There's a dancing race car ride to show off some of the car batteries. They're showing off fuel cell technology. They have a plastics recycling area. They've got a train ride, an adventure area. Literally, they've built an amusement park here in the middle of CES 2024. It's stunning. It's interesting. I spoke to a couple of the people that work here to ask, what's the message? What are you trying to say? And it's really just for awareness of the company. So welcome to CES 2024, where you're in Wonderland in an amusement park. So we're sitting here with my good friend and industry associate, Doug Money. Doug, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
So we're at CES. I don't know, this has got to be around my 30th CES. How many have you been to? Do you have any idea?
I'm trying not to go and count. People ask me, and I'm just like, too many.
Yeah. I decided I'm not getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning to stand online to go to press conferences that are being streamed anymore. I'm just going to watch them from my hotel room and do screen captures.
Oh, that's kind of cool. You could order room service. Do they still have room service? I guess they still have room service. And, just eat and watch. That's kind of cool. That would work.
Yeah, so it's just, we're going to take it easier this year at CES. It's just gotten overwhelming. Why are you here? What's the reason that you come to the show every year, and what are you looking for specifically this year?
Every year is something different. I think that this year, as in previous years, I'm with the Fiber Broadband Association this year. So I'm looking for new applications that take advantage of the fiber broadband that's continuing to grow within the United States. Because right now we've got about over 50% of homes in the U.S. are passed by fiber. And with another 42 billion plus in one chunk of federal money and other chunks of federal money in there, that numbers of homes passed and homes connected to fiber is going to go up significantly over the next 5 years.
All right, so let me complain for a second.
Go ahead.
So I'm a Verizon customer, Fios customer in New Jersey. Fiber service is terrific, but because of it, they've discontinued copper service, which used to be one of the most reliable things that you could get, and now they just don't offer it anymore.
You don't want to get me started. Dave, you're describing something that is not the fiber industry's fault. It's a problem of legacy. We don't deal with legacy well. Copper's been expensive. It's unreliable, and nobody's invested in the infrastructure. Let's be honest, for like at least the past 2 decades.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been legacied out, and like in the Washington D.C. area where I live, as a Verizon customer by you, mind you, I can't get copper anymore. They're just basically like, oh, you want to get dial tone services? Well, we have to run fiber to your house and plug in the widget box so you can get service, period, end of story. Even if I just want a plain landline, I still have to get fiber, and that's more and more the situation across many parts of the country. So I mean, I'm not here to praise copper. I'm here to bury it, in other words, because the investment has not been made in large cities and small cities. In larger cities, there's a rolling transition to fiber because of the fact that the legacy infrastructure, it just can't be supported, A, and B, everybody wants higher bandwidth speeds, right? We found out during COVID that, DSL speeds, 10 megasecond off of a copper line, assuming you could get reliable service, just didn't work when you had 4 people in a household trying to do work from home and also doing education in the house. So, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And if you go back and look at the history of folks talking about the death of copper, it's been happening for like 2 to 3 decades. People haven't, 2 decades, I'll say, where it's been a known fact that all these legacy switches in the United States that were put in back in their heydays in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, well, they're starting to die because the companies that made them died. The people who know how to fix them either died or retired, and it's just copper is a legacy problem that we're starting to solve in some respects, and we're starting to solve in some respects, and that's probably more of a TED Talk than you wanted to hear about.
That's okay. We used to use the term 4-wire guy to insult somebody, but now it's actually a badge of honor that hey, I know how to use a butt set. I understand what the wires are for.
Yeah, I just now it's like if you know how to use a butt set, and if you're in specific industries, it's going to be like COBOL. There's a dwindling number of people who know how to use that technology, and there's a dwindling number of installations, but those installations that do use that technology, they're going to be willing to pay for it. So
we basically have 3 servers running out right now. So one is like if you give a script, it automatically changes to a video, and secondly, if you don't have the text, then just like give the keywords to the GPT, and it automatically write down your text and turns to a video.
Okay. I just finished getting a demo of a product from NTT Sonority, which is amazing. They're making an open-ear style headphone called Noon, and it sits outside your ear. They have it as wired earbuds, wireless earbuds, over-the-air headsets, and it's floored me. I asked them what the frequency response was, understanding that the bass for an open-ear environment would probably be, 100 hertz or 200 hertz, and they said the answer is it goes down to 40 hertz. and I put it on, and they're right. It's open ear. It has true bass response down to 40 hertz, or at least it seemed like that to me. And then if you're standing next to me, though, no one can hear it. It only projects the sound right into your ear. Take a look at the demo and of me wearing it. It's really amazing.
Hello, my name is Robert from NTT Sonority, and I'd like to introduce a product from our company. We're an audio device company just established in 2020, but we have a very exciting product. The product you're seeing right now, there is an open ear design product. If you take a look at it, here it is. It's an open ear product. I can still hear the music, but at the same time, you can have a seamless conversation at the same time. We have many products that you see right now on the lineup, and the one you're seeing at the middle is a really nice design. It's a very innovative design. It's something new. People will be real excited. Now, having a seamless conversation gives lots of merit, but you know what? These kinds of products is a concept model, and I would love people to try this on. Stay tuned.
All right. Where can people find out more information?
Yes, first you'll be able to purchase the product on Amazon, and if you want to find further about the product information, type in NWM Noom or NTT Sonority.
And that's the QR code.
Hey, this is Gary Boss, and I'm with Audio Technica, and we're at CES 2024. Had to think about that for a second. And one of the focuses we have at the show this year is on our creation products. So within that realm, we do microphones and headphones, and we do a very special combination of the two, which I'll get to in a second. So on the microphone front, we kind of have two primary key products for this market. One is this guy, and this is called the AT2040. Now what this is a dynamic microphone, and dynamic microphones by nature tend to be a little warmer. And this one, the polar pattern is how the microphone picks up, and this has a very narrow polar pattern. It's called a hypercardioid, and what that's going to do is help eliminate a lot of the room noise. One of the things that we hear over and over from a lot of our creators is they don't have treated rooms or spaces to work in, and so they have problems with room ambience. So the 2040 will help you get around that. We have that in a wired version, which is an XLR balance, which you'll need to go into a mixer or an interface. And we also have that same product in a USB version, which is new, called the AT2040 USB. I wonder how we came up with that name. That's that guy. And then we have a condenser microphones. Condenser microphones, by their nature, tend to be more sensitive, so they pick up a little better, and they tend to have a little better higher frequency response. And so, by their very nature, they will tend to pick up a little bit more of the room, but you get very good articulation, which is very important for understanding language and really understanding the content. So the 2020 was originally designed for home and project studios. So this is a product that literally came right out of professional recording studios right into the creation market, and that's the 2020. Again, we also have a USB output version of that because we're cool. And the latest version of that is this guy here called the AT2020 USB XP. And what do we have there? Well, we have the same condenser element with a couple little tricks. One is we have automatic gain control. So what that's going to do when you plug that in, regardless of if you're talking very loud or very quietly, it actually automatically adjusts the gain so you get adequate signal into your system. And the other thing is we have 3 levels of digital noise reduction, which is going to help control the noise in your room. Right on board, we have a silent capacitive mute switch. A lot of people call this a cough switch, so if you're in the middle of a stream, you can hit that and it doesn't pop. It's a silent switch. And so that's the 2020 USB XP.
How can people find out more about it?
Audio-technica.com. We have a lot of kind of increased, what do I want to say, enhanced content on that site about when I was talking about the dynamic microphone versus the condenser. You can find more about that. You can find out the difference in polar patterns, a hypercardioid versus a cardioid polar pattern. That's all on our website at audiotechnica.com.
That's it for this episode of AVNation TV's Connected. I'm your host, David Danto. Thanks very much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one.